WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany, tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Today, for the last time, I'm going to do the Irish Whiskey Bushmills Steamship Collection series. I did number 1, which was a sherry cask. I wasn't a fan of it. Did number 2, the port cask. Really liked it. Number 3, the bourbon cask. Really liked that as well. And today we're going to do number 4, the port cask. Port rum cask. So sorry. Now I'm going to do a comparison between the rum and the port cask because I don't have any other Irish whiskey at the moment here with a rum cask finish. I thought it'd be interesting to see what they've actually learned and done. And in the meanwhile, this is 2016 bottling. This is a 2018 bottling. So the very first thing you notice is they changed the color of the ships. Here it's the dark brown. Here it's the bright gold. They also changed the lettering here from the steam ship, which was dark, which I liked better, to the gold color here. Otherwise, they actually implemented something else. They gave us this nice little hatch. Now the box cannot open up. It's earthquake proof if you'd like. Very, very good. Now over here in Germany, this bottle here was 64 euros. This bottle over here was 96 euros. So over 30 euros more for the same type of whiskey, except for maybe the little latch here. The rest of it is basically identical. This is travel retail. So let's pull out the bottles. We have the nice little story in here. We have the nice little standard Bushmills bottle and the standard 40% ABV. Over here we have the same thing, the nice little story, and the nice little bottle. The bottle design has not changed for many, many years. So what I'd like to do is I would like to briefly try to read through this. So it says here in September 1890, the steamship SS Bushmills set a course for America at the start of her maiden voyage. Skip. On the wayward leg of her journey in 1895, the SS Bushmills docked in St. Vincent, down there in the Caribbean, and restocking her hold with rum. And we Bushmills continue this tradition today, refilling small batches of seasoned rum casks with our fine single malt Irish whiskey and storing them in our cool warehouses. Then we wait as new flavors are slowly drawn out of the wood, combining vibrant new tropical notes with our fabulously smooth Irish whiskey. Very good. We actually have a tiny little bit of velvet in here, which I think is very, very nice. I don't remember velvet in here, do I? Nope, no velvet, just cardboard. So they've improved the quality of the box, which I have to pay for, which I'm not sure if I really want to pay for, to be honest. The port I liked. Just to give a tiny little memory, it basically came in and went, wee! I love the finish here. This we'll have to see. Now, I'm not a great big fan of the rum cask finishings. It says always matured, but it says here, rare release of the fine single malt Irish whiskey, specially matured in first Fill Caribbean Rum Casks. It's not a full maturation, it's a finish. Bushmills doesn't like to use that word, that's the thing. They're not always the most transparent in the world, by the way. 3 times in this bottle it says 1608. On the front, on the sides, yeah, 1608. There was no distillery in Ireland in 1608. All right? King James actually gave a permission to Sir Thomas Phillips for a 7-year period. He was licensed to produce aquavite, ushkaba, and aqua composita. That was it. There was a distillery. The beginning of Bushmills in the distillery was 1784. So if they were truthful, they would say, oh, we have a distillery since 1784. Now, I have to admit there was illegal distilling probably being done a lot longer before that. We have the story of 1276 of Sir Robert Savage actually giving a mighty drop of aquavita to his fellow soldiers. Good. All right, enough history. Going now to this. We do have the so-called inflation whiskey index, or the whiskey inflation index. which is between 10 and 30% in a year. So within 2 years, this actually went up 50% in price, which is a lot. 60 some, 90 some. So I'm not really sure if this is actually worth it or not. On the nose, it's fairly sweet. I get some malt, I get some vanilla, I get a little bit of wood, and a tiny, tiny little bit of a tropical note. Guava. Star fruit. Honey melon. It's there. Very, very nice. The question is, how long was the rum finish? We don't know. No age statement. We don't know how old the whiskey is itself over here. That port cask. I'm not sure if I always like port better than I do the rum cask finish, but I do know I like port better than rum, but I also like rum, so who knows. This is very, very nice stuff. If you can buy one single bottle of the steam cask steamship edition, I would go for the cheapest one, which is the bourbon. It's very pure, it's very authentic, and then I would go if you can find the port. I'll tell you between the sherry and the rum in a second which one I would then have. Cheers. Sweet. Now what's really disappointing, they used some fairly young juice for this. It's a burning sensation. It's an alcohol sensation. And what is also very interesting is, if you look at the legs here, we have very slow forming droplets that are coming down, and we have like a magnitude of tiny little legs very quickly falling, dropping down. The viscosity of this is just not really what it could be or what it should be. It's fairly young, and they just put the port finish in and said, I'm sorry, the rum finish, and said, okay, finish, boom, we're out there. We're going to put a little latch on this, and it's going to cost 35 euros more. We're basically going to take 50% on the price up above the old box. The other things were actually in tubes. In between, there was this one. It was just a tube, and it wasn't a nice little box here, a display box. And these were 1 liters, and these are 0.7 liters, by the way, as well. All right, so don't forget that. Just not doing it for me, as it should, at that price point. Somewhat disappointed, to be honest. All right, good. One last time. I'm not going to put water in it. It's 40%. Oh, I am. Why not? I didn't do it in my German video. Take it down to 25 to 30%. See what happens if I get those nice little nuance, those little tiny little faint notes here. Oh, didn't do good. It's more of a paint finish now, paint varnish. Amazingly, I still get the rum finish. I still get the malt. Wood is tiny little bit still there. It didn't change at all, it just diluted it. It brought out the sweetness and toned down the maltiness and the wood. Still not my cup of tea. I'm fairly disappointed in that. Especially at that price point. This, on the other hand, really gets up there where it should be. Nice. I'm going to give this a C-. So sorry, guys. Too young. The rum just doesn't really cut the mustard with me. Value for money, almost 100 euros. So we're talking about $120 for this no age statement of the Bushmills steam cask finish. I'm going to give it a D. So A, why haven't you bought it? B, buy it. C, you can buy it if you want to. D, don't buy it. And F, why was it even made? So this is definitely a no-go. If you have a friend and he has it, try it. Maybe I'm wrong, but that youngness of that whiskey at that price just shouldn't be there. They should be using older stock for this, at least in my personal opinion. All right, if you can get your hands on this, please do. The bourbon cask is also something I can recommend, and steer away from the number one, the sherry cask. Unless you love the old, tired oak cask taste, which I don't. All right, WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany, tasting rare and exotic whiskeys, maybe things you might not ever see. I haven't found a single video about this at all in English, which basically means travel retail, Europe travel retail for some reason. And maybe if you're in Europe, you can pick this one up if you see it. Thank you very much. Like, subscribe, tell others about this crazy guy over here in Europe tasting things you might not ever see. All the best. Bye-bye.